This is Tee to Green, Central Ohio's premier golf show. Now here's your host, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Southern Ohio PGA of America and Hall of Fame, the Fan's own Skip Mosick.
And hi again, everybody. Good morning. Welcome into another edition of Tee to Green here on The Fan. Obviously, a very busy week in the golf world with the U.S. Open over at Oakmont playing as brutal as we all thought it might. Just 3 players are under par heading into the weekend. Sam Burns is your leader by 1. Bob Harig from SI.com will join us shortly from Oakmont. That's coming up in just a bit. And speaking of Oakmont, she has produced some great U.S. Opens in the past. A couple of years ago, we had a chance to visit with World Golf Hall of Famer Larry Nelson, who won the Open there in 1983. We'll share our conversation with the former Memorial Tournament honoree later this hour. And as always, we have another terrific golf prize package to give away. Details on that shortly. But we begin this week with a little about the LPGA USGA Girls Golf Program. LPGA professional Denise Vermillion, who heads up this program locally, they'll begin a new one next week out at the Virtues, joins us right now. And Denise, we talked a little bit about this last week with Beth Major of the USGA. This program just continues to grow. Tell us more about it and where you see things going as it continues to get bigger and bigger.
Well, good morning, Skip, and thank you so much for having us and our little program on your show. We're very, very honored to be here. Our girls golf program is growing a lot faster than we ever anticipated it to grow. I'm telling you, we started it 7 years ago, and when we started it, we had no idea that we would still be doing it 7 years later. Probably one of the biggest perks is the demand for it. Other locations want to do it. We had Scott at the Virtues reach out to us. Their site wanted to host our program, and that's a brand new site for us for this year. We're going to start that on June 17th, I believe, on a Tuesday. And we also have a site up in Delaware at Oak Haven. And we have our existing site that we started at, Blacklick. And also we've expanded to Heritage Golf Club. They've been very generous with us with their course and their driving range. And it's been a great experience. You know,
Denise, when this started, just one location you mentioned there at Blacklick Woods, also home of the First Tee of Central Ohio, now up to a number of different locations. I know it's a little complicated and not to be confusing, but you are different than the First Tee, you know, even though there are girls involved with the First Tee. Tell us about how your program is different.
This program is different that it doesn't follow the First Tee curriculum. We follow the LPGA Girls Golf curriculum, and that's probably the biggest difference. We are under the First Tee umbrella. We are a 501c3 thanks to them and their partnership with our program. So it's been an amazing experience with the First Tee, and I think we can say that we've actually added girls to their regular programming classes, because usually we are filled up at Blacklick, and this summer our wait list is filled up at Blacklick. So when girls can't get into our program, a lot of times they'll join the First Tee classes. So I think the relationship has been very positive and a win-win for both organizations.
Denise, tell us about how the LPGA backs your program as well as the USGA. I mean, a lot of messaging a couple of weeks ago with the Women's Open. I'm sure we'll see more this weekend with the Men's Open.
Yes, I believe we will. The LPGA and the USGA have been so generous with just the financial support. And the LPGA gives us the curriculum. USG and LPGA, the LPGA Foundation specifically, they give us the financial support we need for grant money, for bling for the girls, for girls golf logoed hats, keychains, etc. Girls love bling, and so we've been very fortunate. They've been very generous with the merchandise, so we can give that out, and we don't have to pay out of pocket to get the girls tee markers and all that kind of stuff, hats, swag that the girls like.
We're talking LPGA USGA Girls Golf with LPGA professional Denise Vermillion this morning. Tee to Green here on The Fan. And Denise, locally at the high school level, we've seen how the girls golf teams have grown and improved. Many of these gals started with your program. How rewarding is that?
Oh, that's why we do it. I mean, that is why we get up every day, and that's why we keep plugging along to do it. 100% is that we have a lot of our girls that play competitively in middle school and high school, and that's just awesome. And when those girls age out, so to speak, of our program, when they don't need our group instruction and they're going on with more professional instruction, one-on-one, individual instruction, they come back and they become junior coaches in our program. In the girls golf lingo, that is called E-leaders, and E-leaders are junior coaches. So those girls come back and they get to coach as junior coaches in our program to the younger girls. And I'm telling you, those younger girls look up to the girls that play in middle school and high school like they are rock stars. They look at me like I'm 100 years old. They look at those girls like they are rock stars. We could say the exact same thing, but those girls that play in high school, it just means all the world to them. And those girls can also talk to the younger girls about their journey and how they got from being an 8-year-old in a girls' golf class to playing competitively in high school.
Denise, I'm sure it varies, but for parents who might be hearing us right now, is there a common or suggested age range to get the girls involved in your program?
Yes. I mean, the age range is 7 to 17. And so we do take older girls, and we welcome them. We had some older girls this spring that participate in the Blacklight class. And my thing is like everything we do and teach, it is in a group setting, but we also deal with you as an individual. So if you are an older girl, like a 16-year-old, you're not going to be paired with an 8-year-old. So we do keep the ages separate so you don't feel like you're babysitting. And we do individualize the instruction to what level you're at. But we do encourage all of them. So I never want any older girls to feel like, oh, that's just for the littles. Of course it's for the littles. But we also encourage, if they want to learn and come out and have fun and see if they even like golf, it's a great environment to do that in.
Well, Denise, you were talking about some of the older gals. It's thinking about college. Tell us about the scholarship opportunities that I was reading about on your webpage.
Yes. Well, through the LPGA Foundation, there are lots of scholarship opportunities for girls who have been in the girls golf program. And being on the LPGA's roster, listed as a participant or as an E-leader, does enable those girls to apply for scholarships that will help.
Well, Denise, we talked about upcoming programs beginning next week at the Virtues at Nashport, later at Oak Haven. Can people still get their girls signed up?
Summer programming has closed for girls golf for this year, but they can look for fall programming at the First Tee's website. It would go www.firstteecentralohio.org, and they can look for the girls golf classes there for fall. We do have some spots still available at the Virtues and at Oak Haven. So if anybody is interested in being added into those classes, since we do have room at those two sites, they're more than welcome to call the First Tee office and see about getting registered to get into those classes.
Denise, common question I get a lot is, do the girls, especially at the younger levels, need their own golf clubs when they start?
They don't need their own golf clubs, no. They do. We do provide clubs for them to use at the stations. But I'll tell you what, I've noticed. The girls notice when other girls are carrying their clubs and walking around with golf clubs, and they're using, clubs. Might have a group of putters at the putting station, wedges at the chipping station, and they notice that they're using our clubs. It does make a difference, and they don't feel as included when they don't have their own bag that they're walking station to station with. We do have a golf club program through US Kids for refurbished clubs that parents can buy a 5-piece set of US Kids golf clubs for $65. And when their girl gets to be the next height, they can give that set back to me, and then they can get that next height of golf club that they need for $20. And so we can keep doing that. And so parents can really outfit their girl with 3 to 4 sets of clubs for just a little over $100. And then by that time, hey, do they love golf? Let's get them fitted for golf clubs. Or, hey, they got their first set of golf clubs and they don't like golf. All right, that's no problem. Just give that set back to me, and it's not a huge investment for parents because golf clubs can get expensive.
All right, Denise, last thing. If people want more information or more than anything would like to get involved or better yet, volunteer, what's the best way to do so?
Best way to do so would be to go to the First Tee website. There is volunteer information there. They are also welcome to reach out directly to Girls Golf at tftco.org. That stands for the First Tee Central Ohio. It's tricky there. But Girls Golf at tftco.org, and send us information that they're interested. Our biggest need is we need people to come in and help run and manage our sites. We can't grow anymore unless we get more help. And the program desperately needs there's definitely a need for the program. At Heritage and Blacklit, we are full for this summer, and our wait lists are full. So we can't grow unless we have help. We definitely need volunteer help. And you don't have to be a golf pro to come volunteer. You just need to be willing to mentor the girls and help out. And I promise most of the people on this call know more about golf than they think they know, that they can share with other little girls. And definitely, we always need financial partners. So that would probably be our three biggest needs. And I promise anybody that would send an email, we don't badger you. We send you the information. And if you want to do it, great. Come out, check us out. If it's for you, then we'll get you through the steps, the process to become a volunteer.
LPGA professional Denise Vermillion, thanks for hopping on to tell us all about the LPGA USGA Girls Golf. Thank you for what you and your organization do, okay?
Hey, thank you. Thank you for promoting us. We appreciate it.
Great information there as that program just continues to expand. All right, USGA taking center stage this week with the U.S. Open. Let's head there now as we get you warmed up with some chip shots.
97.1 The Fan's Tee to Green Chip Shots, presented by BMI Federal Credit Union.
Oakmont Country Club playing every bit as challenging as we thought coming in. Just 3 players are under par. Sam Burns is your leader at -3 after an incredible 65 on Friday. Burns knew he was playing well coming into this week, falling in a playoff Sunday in Toronto.
Yeah, I think played really well yesterday, other than the finishing holes, and so I think today was just kind of getting mentally ready to come out and try to put a good round together. I feel like, I've been playing well coming off last week and into this week and my round yesterday. So really just trying to get yourself in position out here and give yourself as many looks as you can. And I think, you get out of position here and the golf course will bite you.
One back of Burns is the first-round leader, J.J. Spaun, at -2, 72 Friday for Spaun, who said it was hard to follow up a bogey-free round Thursday, but still played well on Friday.
Yeah, I was definitely anxious to get back out here and see how the game would, pan out. And it ended up being a pretty good day. It was more of a true U.S. Open round. I feel like a lot of back and forth, a lot of grinding, bogeys. I saved all those from, Thursday's round. So, it was still an overall good day, positive day. I'm still right there and got 36 holes to, keep it up and see what happens at the end.
The only other player under par is Victor Hovland at -1, 71-68 the first 2 days for Hovland, who likes where he's at mentally with this brutal test at Oakmont.
For some reason, I've just been in a really nice mental state this week. It's like, I feel like a couple times, if it would have happened at another tournament, for example, I could have potentially lost my mind there a little bit, but I felt like I kept things together very well. But that's not something that you really do the week before or the week during the U.S. Open. It's like preparations is what you do leading up to the event. It's what you do on a regular basis. Just discipline, I guess, is a good way to prepare yourself.
Again, all chasing your leader, Sam Burns, at 3 under par. Elsewhere this week, Champions, Korn Ferry, and World Tours are all off because of the U.S. Open. LPGA is up in Michigan, 4-way tie for the lead. Carlotta Saganda, Hyunjin Choi, Celine Boutier, and Karis Davidson are all at 8 under par. They lead by 1. Your leaderboards were brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at BMIFCU.org. Coming up, we'll head to Pittsburgh, where SI.com's Bob Harig joins us from Oakmont. That's next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
We could tell you what makes Giant Eagle special, but we think our customers say it best.
I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
On every shelf, in every department, we're always going for better because being your Giant Eagle matters.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Learn the game, meet future stars, and have a blast at the Browns Youth Football Camps. In partnership with University Hospitals, the camps kick off Monday, June 16th. Go to browns.com/youthfootballcamps25 to sign up today. You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry, I think I invented something.
Does it solve a problem?
It solves a big problem.
Get Eco.
ECO. Heating and cooling companies are telling people your furnace and AC isn't worth fixing. You need to replace it with a whole new system.
You invented a solution for that?
I invented a way to fix those systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
That's a great invention. How does it work?
Step 1 is to pay Eco to fix it.
I thought you said you'd fix it for free.
Step 2 is that we give you back all the money that you paid us, up to $1,500 when you get Eco to replace it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What if your repair keeps my system running for several more years?
That would mean you got all those extra years for free.
Paying Eco to fix your AC system is like putting money in the bank.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
You are listening to Tee to Green with the fan Skip Mossick. Skip Mossick. This is Sports Radio 97.1 The Fan.
Welcome back, everybody. Good morning. As always, thank you for listening. We have another terrific golf prize package to give away this week. We have golf to go play out at the Virtues, a gift card for you to check out the Fairway Columbus on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. Pretty cool place. Balls from our friends at Titleist. Plenty of fan goodies we'll throw in there for you as well. No Twitter contest this week, so stay tuned. We'll have details on this week's giveaway shortly, and your chance to make this great prize package yours.
This This is Backspin. Tee to Green Backspin.
Time to head now over to Oakmont, third round of the U.S. Open, joined by longtime golf writer Bob Harig from SI.com. And Bob, let's begin with the venue. We saw the rain last evening. A handful of guys had to finish up this morning. Is it playing about how you thought it might? I mean, only 3 players are under par, and I guess any easier or more difficult from Thursday versus Friday?
You know, probably a little bit tougher than I thought because they had so much rain here last weekend and in the early part of the week. I thought it might yield a few more good scores, actually. I mean, there's been a few good ones early on, you know, and it just goes to show that, you know, the best players in the world, if they're on, they're gonna still do well on a tough golf course. But it's not like there's a ton of them, you know, and you know, depending on how the weekend plays out, if there's any rain or not, you know, we'll probably have a big impact on how many players finish under par. But if it stays firm and it's been warm and dry, it's only going to get harder.
And talking about weather, we saw rain last night, maybe some more over the weekend, Bob. I mean, normally you would think rain might make things a little bit easier, but the flip side is it's hard to imagine what that rough might play like wet.
It'll make that even more difficult, certainly, to get the ball out. And, I mean, so that's no bargain. That doesn't help. But, I mean, if you're hitting it into the rough either way, you're going to struggle. The difference is if it's softer, you've got a better chance of keeping the ball out of the rough. You know, if you hit a poor tee shot that rolls in the fairway, it might not roll out of the fairway. Softer greens might mean some poorly struck shots stay on the green instead of rolling off. So typically wet weather evens things out. It brings in guys who are maybe not playing as solidly as others, which is why all the majors like to have firm, fast conditions. It separates, you know, the guys hitting it the best do the best in those tournaments. So that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It just might mean it's a little bit easier than it would have been otherwise. You'll see some guys get breaks off the tee or hitting into greens that they would not get if it were completely firm.
Well, Bob, it seems like every year at the U.S. Open, there's always some names that may not have been the quote-unquote favorites coming in, or heck, some of these guys, some may not even have been aware of. Do you see those guys holding on to win their first major championship, or more of the names we thought might be there come tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, look, it's why they play 72 holes. I mean, you know, Tristan Lawrence was in contention at the British Open last summer that Xander won, and he almost won the BMW PGA Championship also that Billy Horschel won over Rory. So, you know, he's a very good player, but is he going to hold on, or is he going to be able to keep going this weekend? You know, J.J. Spaun is not a prolific winner. You know, his first round was the only one without a bogey.
Yeah.
You know, that is not sustainable at a course like this. But look, what it did was it gave him some room to play with. You know, I mean, if he shoots, you know, the rest of the tournament, you know, 1 over at par each day, well, then he's still under par for the tournament. That's a huge bonus to have, you know, gotten off to a start like that. You know, there's some other names that have been up there. Thomas Detry. Victor Perez is a nice player from France. He made a hole-in-one Friday, you know, but it's a long way to go. And you know, the tournament has a lot of outliers as it is. It's you know, it's the tournament that allows a lot of qualifying, so there's going to be some other names. And I think the way the courses are set up and the difficulty makes it hard to separate. You know, it makes it really, really hard for the Schefflers of the world to put it all together and move ahead. You know, it's why the leaderboard is typically bunched.
SI.com's Bob Harig joins us from Oakmont this morning. Tee to Green here on the Fan. And, you know, Bob, we know the history there at Oakmont. You mentioned guys bunched together. We've seen some weekend and Sunday charges. You know, Larry Nelson was 10 under over the weekend when he won in 83. We all know about Johnny Miller in 73. Heck, DJ came from behind the last time the Open was there at Oakmont. How far might someone be that still may have a chance come tomorrow?
You know, I think, you know, with 2 days to go, I mean, I think you could be 6-8 shots back. It's because I do think there's a low round out there where, you shoot a 66 or 65 and you jump over 20 people, and all of a sudden you're in contention for Sunday. That's not likely, but it's possible. And we've seen it at U.S. Opens before. That's why these guys, I think, grind their tails off even when they're over par. They realize they're one, even just one 9-hole stretch away from getting back into the tournament.
Well, Bob, before the tournament, it was interesting to hear what Mike Whan from the USGA had to say in regards to driver testing, which happens more than some realize. To have those tests remain private to avoid leaks like we heard from Rory at the PGA Championship. Bob, I guess my question is, what's the downside of making the results of those tests public? I mean, no one's accusing anyone of cheating, are they?
No, in fact, the fact that there's been so much secretiveness around it has led to that, and that's why this thing got out of control. And it's really unfortunate. Had there been a little more transparency last month immediately, then I think the idea that anything tawdry was going on is put to bed. But the combination of the lack of knowledge about the whole system, the lack of frankly, there's a lot of ignorance around what even a hot driver means. I thought Xander Schauffele put it the best. It's not like having a corked bat. It's not giving you that kind of an advantage. It's a line that they have that they don't want the manufacturers to pass. And it's not because just going over that line means the difference between hitting it 300 and hitting it 320. Doesn't mean that. It might mean a yard. It might mean 2 yards. It also might mean that your driver face is going to cave in on your next swing. Like, nobody wants to get to that point. And had they done a better job of educating when that all happened, I don't think we'd be in this position. I get what Juan was saying. He was basically saying this should have never elevated to that level. Nobody's trying to get away with anything. We test randomly. Guys know it. And guys should be prepared that if their club is going to cross the line, they're going to have to use a backup driver. That, to me, was the story at the PGA. It wasn't that Rory was doing anything nefarious. It's that the Masters champion was going to go into a major championship needing a different driver than he had planned to use at the start of the week. And they all tell you that it takes a little bit of time to get used to a new one. They're not all the same. It's like your favorite club. It's not exactly the same. So, Rory still is having trouble getting it sorted out. He switched drivers again coming into the U.S. Open. So that's the story to me. And look, Roy didn't do himself any favors by not addressing it and just, meeting it head on.
Right.
Scheffler did that after the tournament and explained it beautifully. He explained exactly why, it wasn't that big of a deal for him, because he knew his driver was close to being a problem, and so he had been working with a new one. And so when he found out that his was no longer in compliance, he went to the backup driver, and what did he do? He won the PGA Championship.
Well, along those lines, Bob, I mean, you do this every week. Esteemed as Rory was, how much of a problem is it becoming where players, and there are others, where players aren't speaking to the press?
Yeah, look, I try to always keep this in perspective. I don't think the average guy out there really cares about our woes, and so I'm not bringing it up from that standpoint. Look, we survive. If a player doesn't talk to me, I can still write a story. I just tell people he didn't talk. But I don't think he does himself, the tours, the game, or the fans any good to not do that. And I just think it's sort of a bigger picture issue. Like, it's not personal. Roy's been really good to us, over the years. He's been very insightful on a lot of subjects. He's talked about a lot of different things. He's been put out there a lot, especially in the last couple of years with the conflict in the game. And he's been good on those questions. He's very good, talking about his struggles leading up to the Masters. For whatever reason right now, he's been in this mode of not wanting to talk much. And I'm sort of the mindset that he's due a little bit of grace. But it doesn't mean it helps him. You know, I mean, I just think a couple of minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes goes a long way and heads off a lot of problems. And, you know, I bring this up all the time. There was nobody in the history of the game, not even Jack Nicklaus, who's done more post-round interviews than Tiger Woods. And many, many times Tiger didn't want to talk. And there were very, very few times that he blew us off. Very few. There were some, you know, but usually if he didn't talk on a Saturday, he would always talk on Sunday to wrap it up. If he missed the cut, he would almost always talk. You know, I just hope it's a little bit of a phase he's going through and he gets past it.
Bob Harig, we always appreciate your time. We look forward to reading more of your work from Oakmont this weekend at SI.com. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Skip. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, let's go ahead and give away this week's golf prize package right now. Caller number 9, 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. Caller 9 will get golf at the Virtues, balls from Titleist, a gift certificate at the Fairway Columbus, fan goodies, and more. Caller 9 right now will be our winner. Good luck. All right, speaking of winners, World Golf Hall of Famer Larry Nelson was the winner at Oakmont in the 1983 U.S. Open. We had a chance to catch up with the Memorial Tournament honoree. We will share that conversation with you next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Looking to up your golf game this summer? Swing into the Fairway, Columbus' premier indoor golf facility, featuring state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators, a spacious clubhouse vibe, and world-class service. It's the perfect place to play, train, or host your next event. Choose from over 350 courses worldwide, or fine-tune your swing with TrackMan's advanced range options, the same tech the pros use. Located in Upper Arlington, skip the long drive and grab a summer range pass today. The Fairway, golf elevated. Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Get summer blockbuster savings at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Right now, take up to $6,000 off MSRP on any new Kia in stock. Plus, get free maintenance for a full year when you buy. Get any new Kia with up to $6,000 off MSRP. Visit CoglinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 2025 Kia Sorento XY. MSRP $47,990. $3,000 Coughlin discount. $3,000 factory rebate. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N7725.
We've discovered the perfect morning ritual, the 2 for $6 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. Every sandwich is made to order with a freshly cracked egg and melty cheese, just the way breakfast should be. Choose between savory sausage or hickory smoked bacon, served on a toasted English muffin or flaky biscuit. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches, just $6. Perfect. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, single item at regular menu price. Modifications and tax extra. Exclusions and additional terms apply.
Bats are us. When dreams don't come in, bats are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bats are us. When dreams don't come in, bats are us.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here for the weekend. High temperatures into the upper 70s here for today with a few scattered showers and storms, especially here for the afternoon. We can see that chance continue here into your Sunday with highs into the lower 80s. A better chance of showers and storms in the forecast here as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. But overall, warm and humid conditions are expected here for next week with highs into the 80s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Now eligible for the senior tees. You're listening to Tee to Green with Skip Mossick. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back, everybody. As always, thank you for listening. Congratulations to Kevin over in Marysville. Kevin was caller 9. He picks up golf at the Virtues, gift card to the Fairway Columbus, balls from Titleist and more. Congratulations, Kevin. We'll have another prize package for you next week. All right, favorite part of the show, let's hit the range.
You are listening to Tee to Green's On the Range.
On the Range is presented by the Fairway Columbus on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. New location coming later this summer up in Lewis Center. U.S. Open this week at Oakmont has shown us some great championships over the years. World Golf Hall of Famer Larry Nelson won the Open there in 1983. A couple of years ago, we had a chance to catch up with Nelson prior to being named Memorial Tournament honoree. And we started, as we always like to do with those great champions, with how much it meant to him to be named Memorial honoree.
Well, it's a huge, big deal for me, mainly because of Jack and the people who selected me to be the honoree. It means so much. But to be associated with Jack Nicklaus and his family just is a great honor.
Larry, your story's so unique. I mean, many know you didn't start playing golf until you returned home from your time in Vietnam. First of all, thank you for your service, but I guess what led you to the game?
It was kind of by chance. Basically, my wife worked from like 9 to 6, or she didn't get home to around 6, and I only had one class to finish school, and it was done at 9 o'clock. I didn't have anything to do from 9 to 6, and there was a golf course right beside the Kennesaw State University where I was going. And so I said, well, maybe I'd give it a try. One of my friends in service played golf for Miami-Dade Junior College, and so he loved golf. And so I said, well, maybe I'll give it a try, and just fell in love with the game. And 3.5 years later, qualified for the tour.
Basketball and baseball, I want to say before the war, which were you better at and which did you enjoy more?
Probably enjoyed baseball more than basketball. Of course, I had the old goal behind the house with basketball, but played baseball from the time I was 4 years old, and or some kind of organized baseball, and that was really what I loved. But I actually hurt my arm. When I came back from Vietnam, they asked me to pitch on the 4th of July day, hot day, and I actually hurt my arm and was not able to pitch anymore, so golf seemed like maybe the next best thing. So started trying to play golf.
You know, I always like asking guys from the South this. Braves did move to Atlanta, I want to say, until '66. Who was your favorite team growing up?
I watched, of course, always watched the Yankees, Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle when they were playing. Matter of fact, they would even show it in some the afternoon games or whatever in the classroom. My history teacher was a baseball fan, so sometimes we got to watch it. So I think probably the Yankees at that time, they were with Whitey Ford. they were kind of our favorites.
Interesting tie to Jack Nicklaus. Tell us about your first set of golf clubs.
Right. Well, my wife bought me a set of clubs at a department store for Christmas, 1969, and they just happened to be Jack Nicklaus golf clubs. And so, yeah, the first set of golf clubs I ever had was a Jack Nicklaus set. So to go full circle, come around and to share this day, this press day, with him is really kind of remarkable, to say the least. But it's been something that I've been able to have some sort of relationship with him through the years. And just he was a great leader of the game and did so much for charities. And I think it's really kind of inspired younger players to do the same.
World Golf Hall of Famer Larry Nelson, our guest this morning. Tee to Green here on The Fan. Now, less than a year after beginning to play, you're breaking 70, which is unreal. Now, it was much harder back in that time to get your tour card. I mean, no developmental tour to work your way up. I mean, just Q school. I mean, did you get through right away? And were you surprised at all that it happened so quickly for you?
Sometimes I think ignorance is bliss. I didn't really know how difficult it was. I was actually through it before I heard a lot of stories of how many times some guys had been there and hadn't done it, hadn't gotten through the school. So I just felt like that I played on the mini tours for about a year. There were two major mini tours, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. And I was kind of like ranked 8th or 9th in the one on the East Coast, and they were giving 23 spots away. So I figured if I just played my game, probably could get in the top 23, and that's kind of what I did. I tied for 21st, 22nd, 23rd, so got through it the first time and never had to go back.
You won 3 major championships. Your U.S. Open title came at Oakmont, which we're seeing this week. Also a couple of PGA championships at Atlanta Athletic Club and PGA National. Were any of those 3 majors any more special than the other? And if so, which one and why?
Well, each one of them was special, but for different reasons. 81, it was at my hometown. It was in Atlanta.
Sure.
So all my friends and family were able to be out there and watch the last day and watch me accept the trophy and everything. And then Oakmont, I think any time that you can win the U.S. Open or your national championship, I think is really tremendous. And then 87, when I won the PGA again, it gave me a 10-year exemption, so I would be exempt until 10 days before my 50th birthday. And then the senior tour was really a big deal. So I think just all of those really had different meanings in a little bit different way.
Well, Larry, Oakmont has always been a beast. I mean, don't want to downplay anything. I mean, we're seeing it this week. 42 years ago, you shot 10 under on the weekend there in 83 when you won. That's unheard of over there.
Well, the weekend, I shot 10 under, which I guess is still an open record. It broke a 51-year record as far as the last 2 rounds. And so it's still that way. And to do it at Oakmont, which is really one of the hardest golf courses I ever played. But if you're playing good or hitting the ball good, nothing is really difficult if you can put it in the fairways and hit the greens and make putts. And that's what I did last week. That week.
In addition to the 3 majors, a member of 3 Ryder Cup teams, including 87 here at Muirfield Village, where I know the outcome wasn't what the USA wanted. But do you have a favorite memory from your 3 appearances? And I want to say prior to 87, I mean, you had an unbelievable record. I want to say 9-0.
Well, it was 9-0 before 87, but I think one of my greatest memories actually is standing in the locker room after we won the Ryder Cup at Walton Heath, and had my picture taken between Lee Trevino and Jack Nicklaus. We had a great team that year. It was just kind of really amazing to be a part of that team, but have my picture taken in the locker room with Lee and Jack really meant a lot. So that is one of my best memories of the Ryder Cup.
World Golf Hall of Famer, U.S. Open champion at Oakmont, Memorial Tournament honoree a couple of years ago, Larry Nelson. Larry, thank you for your time and sharing some stories, and most importantly, thank you for your service, okay?
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the interview.
On the Range, brought to you by the Fairway Columbus. Check them out at thefairwaycolumbus.com. Coming up, we referenced this with Bob Harig earlier this hour regarding driver testing results being made public. We'll let you hear USGA CEO Mike Whan's comments about that testing next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks, trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Whan, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell air conditioners instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see. Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3, podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus. And we'll send by you right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan.
Summer 2025 is bringing something wild to your Columbus Zoo. The all-new North America Trek opens this summer, a reimagined zoo region inspired by your national parks. Get ready to get up close with Mexican wolves, black bears, river otters, bald eagles, and more in breathtaking new habitats. Discover local wildlife and conservation in action like never before. Plan your visit today. Visit columbuszoo.org for details.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing is durable, offering your home the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors that not only enhance the appearance of your home, but will reduce cooling costs and keep your home more comfortable all summer long. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at MasheterFord.net. Thanks.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, pork back ribs or Tyson boneless chicken breasts are on sale for $2.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Back to Central Ohio's premier golf show with Skip Mossick. This is Tee to Green on Sports Radio 97.1 The Fan.
Welcome back, everybody. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show or any of our past episodes, simply download the Tee to Green podcast. Just search Tee to Green wherever you find your podcasts and be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, driver testing has been talked about a lot the last month, ever since Rory McIlroy's and others, by the way, were deemed non-compliant at the PGA Championship. USGA CEO Mike Whan on Wednesday spoke about the testing process and if it might be better to have the outcome of those tests public as opposed to not.
Well, just to rephrase a couple of things. So for the rest of the world, we test what we call CT creep, characteristic time creep, which is, I assume, what you're talking about, right? So, and that's essentially how long the ball stays on the face. Think about a kid jumping out a trampoline, and the longer they're on the trampoline, the farther they bounce off. So we set a limit with manufacturers in terms of how long that ball can stay on, and it's tested in terms of microseconds. So, there's a test, there's a tolerance, but at the end of the day, if it's on there for more than 258 microseconds, we consider that club out of tolerance. And so, as a service to the players, to the tours, and we do it here as well, we do random testing pretty regularly. So, I think sometimes when we say random testing, people think it, but if you're playing on tour, you're going to get tested a couple of 3 times a year. We think the testing that we're doing is commensurate with both the degree of failure that we see, which is pretty minimal, and quite frankly, when we see failure, at least currently, we're seeing clubs just literally creep over the line, and it's a line we draw. We aren't seeing, when we're taking drivers off, drivers that are, oh my gosh, look where that one went. So I think sometimes in the media and the fan space, you think, we just took 20 yards off that player. We're literally talking about an extra microsecond. And if you get within, I think it's 18 microseconds of the line, and we test you, we give you what we call a yellow warning, which is, hey, be careful, that club is starting to, because at the velocities and at the frequency in which they hit these clubs, they will just, relax over time. So as a service to manufacturers, to the players, and to the tours, we provide that. If I'm being honest with you, I think in terms of kind of what happened at the PGA Championship, it made us more committed to, not wanting to have this be the topic of town, because I think when you talk about a rules violation or somebody who's playing with a hot driver, that gets so much more sensational than the reality. And I can tell you, as a rules body, if we had concerned about this incredible advantage, we would change the degree in which we test. But we think the testing that we're doing now is commensurate with the size of both the issue and the size of the reality of the issue. So it's probably shouldn't admit this, but I'm not even I know we tested this week. I couldn't tell you if we had failures, and if so, what those failures were in the time. I could probably go ask, but I stay out of that mix. I know that if we saw a trend that was alarming in terms of either how many or how far they were moving beyond, we would change the way we approach it. But with what we're seeing today, it'd be a greater interruption. The juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze.
That is USGA CEO Mike Whan earlier this week at Oakmont. Again, third round getting ready to get underway. Sam Burns, your leader, at -3. JJ Spaun at -2. Victor Hovland at 1 under par. Those are the only 3 players under par heading into the weekend. Leaders don't tee off until 3:35 this afternoon. That'll put a wrap on this week's show. If you missed any of our guests, again, simply download the Tee to Green podcast. Search Tee to Green wherever you find your favorite podcast and be sure to hit subscribe. Fan Sports Saturday is next. Reds Tigers just past 1 o'clock this afternoon. For Adam Latek and Nate Puterball, I'm Skip Mossick. Enjoy the golf this weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and we will talk to you again next Saturday morning. The Herdsons will be down. We'll talk golf course design next week with you for another edition of Tee to Green right here on The Fan.
In church next Sunday to save me from those double bogey blues.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with OnePlus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Cabinets and lighting fixtures, too. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Poth Road in Whitehall. 24-month financing is available with approved credit. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends June 22nd. Dealers welcome.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Summer is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you'll be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. You want to beat the heat and keep the AC in your home? Get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 windows free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, and no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. So how exactly do they keep their prices affordable? It's a great question. Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon. So buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION, or go to their website, windownation.com.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
One of the toughest losses ever for a Reds pitcher on this June 14, 1965. Jim Maloney, the fireballing right-hander, the ace of the Reds staff for most of the 1960s, pitched a no-hitter on this evening against the Mets at Crosley Field for 9 innings. But unfortunately, the Reds couldn't score a run against Mets starter Frank Larry or reliever Larry Barnard, and the game went into extra innings. Maloney kept his no-hitter intact through the 10th, but again the Reds were shut out. Maloney started the 11th, but Johnny Lewis, the Mets right fielder, led off the inning with a home run, ruining Maloney's no-hitter and, as it turned out, giving the Mets a 1-0 victory. A most unlikely loss for Jim Maloney this June 14th, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Broadcast